Hi everybody, welcome to NuttX channel. As you know, NuttX is a small RTOS, but sometimes you need to reduce the size and footprint even more. So today I'll explain how to do that. Open the Linux terminal, enter inside NuttX space, NuttX. I already compiled the NuttX NSH example, so we have it here. We need to use the unknown EABI size command to see how much memory the NuttX is using. Unknown EABI size, passing the ELF file, in this case the NuttX file. This is the NuttX binary code size flashed in the board. This is the data size used by not initialized variables in the NuttX. And this is the memory used by zero initialized data in the NuttX. And this is the size of code and data combined. And this is the same value in the hexadecimal code. Also, we can use the NuttX shell free command to see how much memory we are using. So we can run minicon, reset the board, and type free. This board has about 16 kilobytes of RAM. It is using about 10 kilobytes, and we have about 6.5 kilobytes of free RAM memory. So we will reduce the amount of memory used by the system as well. Okay, we can leave the minicon and type make menu config to disable the options we don't need. First, we will reduce the memory used by the interruption vectors. So enter in system type and select using common vectors. We can also disable some NuttX interface we don't need. Enter in the RTOS features, select disable NuttX interface. The timer is already disabled. We can disable the pthread. We cannot disable the signal support because micro sleep and other sleep and delay functions need it. So keep it enabled. And we can also disable the POSIX message queue. Okay, as you can see, we just need to keep the signal support. Now we can leave. We can reduce the NuttX stack memory, but we need to take care because your application could need a bigger stack. So go to stack and heap information. Change the idle thread stack size to 512 bytes. Also change the main thread stack size to 1 kilobyte. Also, we can reduce the pthread stack size to 1 kilobyte. And basically that is it. We can leave again, go to device drivers and disable the /dev/null support. And because this board has less than 64 kilobytes of RAM, we can change the memory model. So go to memory management and select small memory model. Basically that is it. We can leave, save and compile the source code. Execute make to compile. We can execute the unknown EABI size command again to verify how much memory the new firmware is using. ARM known EABI size NuttX. As you can see, it reduced just about 10%, but the memory used by the NuttX shell will reduce even more. So we need to flash the firmware inside the board. If you don't know how to do that, please watch this video here. Okay, the firmware was flashed. Now we can run minicom to test the free command again. Press reset, okay, and type free. So as you can see, the memory consumption reduced to about 8 kilobytes, and now we have about 9.5 kilobytes free memory to use with our application or a drive and so on. Okay, basically that is it. I hope you had enjoyed this video and see you in the next video. Bye bye.